Hello and welcome to Cox Local Edition on CNN Headline News. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Catherine Falk with Cox Communications. We're honored to have the Superintendent of Schools for Fairfax County, Jack Dale, join us today. Thanks for being here. The Fairfax County Schools, that's a really big school system, isn't it?
It is. We're about the 12th largest in the nation, 170,000 students, over 200 schools, tremendous amount of diversity with kids from probably over 200 different countries, 120 different languages, and it's an amazing place.
Wow. And it has such a record of achievement and is really one of the reasons so many people move here.
It is. When you talk about people moving to the community for their schools, that's exactly what happens here in Fairfax. We've had a lot of businesses in the last year move into Fairfax County because of our schools, and then also because of the business climate and proximity, of course, to Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are two big things we're going to talk about. The first is changing the start time for middle school and high school students. So you're considering changing the start time. Tell us about that.
Well, the genesis of it was quite a few parents in the community looking at what they believed to be some health-related issues and behavior-related issues and study and sleep issues for our teenage kids. That if they sleep in a little bit later, then they'll be able to do better in school, et cetera. So we are actually looking at moving our high school start times from the 7:30, 7:45 time to the 8:30 time frame, and then our middle schools, as a consequence, will end up going to 9:30. So there are a lot of pros and cons in all of this, and so right now we're in the middle of trying to figure out whether the community genuinely wants to make that kind of a shift or not.
And what's the process for considering a program like that?
Well, what we're doing right now is we're going to have surveys of students, of staff, of community people. So we're going to gather that kind of data, pros and cons for babysitting issues, for community activities, after school issues, for commuting issues with parents, just a variety of different things we can get our handle on.
Because it does actually affect so many other activities if you start later.
It does, and it's amazing what the ripple effects. We look at our high schools and when they use fields and swimming pools for the various sports and how we have to delay some of those, how much time kids will potentially miss in school because they have to travel to an afternoon, evening activity or late afternoon activity. So there are a variety of different things. One of the interesting things I heard once before when I was looking at this was parents wanting the older kids to be responsible for the child care for younger kids, and they want those older kids home first, not last.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an interesting issue.
Now, the budget is a big issue.
Right.
Tell us about where that stands and what effects you see coming to the schools.
Yeah, one of the unique things in Virginia versus some other states is we are highly dependent upon property taxes, and when property values drop precipitously, as they have here, then our revenue goes dry real quickly. And so what I'm doing in my budget is looking for somewhere around a 5% cutback, which gets pretty severe because last year we were also making additional reductions in the budget. So the process we've gone through is an extensive one with the community, asking where people's priorities were in the community so we can protect programs, particularly for kids who are more at risk of not doing well at school, kids that come from more impoverished backgrounds, have language issues, because we have fairly small class sizes for those kids. That's one of our successful strategies. And so we don't want to foul that up. We want to maintain the quality programs there. So extensive dialogues, a lot of cutbacks in the central office, of course, and what's going to happen is we'll end up losing some of our agility to respond to issues that the community brings up and our school board brings up.
And how can people find out more about that and other issues affecting the Fairfax County schools?
Well, in both cases, they can go on our website, and we have hot links to all sorts of information about either the budget, start times, or any other issues that we're dealing with. We have kind of a menu right there on the front page.
Jack Dale, thanks so much for joining us. And thank you for joining us on Cox Local Edition on CNN Headline News. Have a great day.